My dear, if Zara ever discovers the truth, everything we have built will collapse.
We should have settled this long ago.
The night Zara heard those words, something inside her quietly shattered. She did not scream. She did not rush into the room to confront them. She simply stood in the dim hallway of the large house in Enugu, frozen, listening to the voices of the two people she trusted the most, the people she believed would never hurt her.
We should have settled this long ago.
The woman said calmly. Zara felt her heart skip. She recognized that voice immediately. It was Melissa, the woman her husband always introduced to her as just his business partner. Zara had only come downstairs to get a glass of juice. Just juice. She was never meant to hear anything, but her feet refused to move as her husband, Daniel, continued speaking inside the living room.
If Zara remains here, the house, the company, everything will always stay in her name.
Then you already know what you...
She trusted me when I had nothing.
Daniel said quietly. Zara's fingers began to tremble. Her mind struggled to understand what she was hearing. Melissa spoke again, her voice low but firm. Then you already know what you must do. For a moment, the air around Zara felt too heavy to breathe. Daniel sighed.
She trusted me when I had nothing.
He said slowly. Zara felt tears gather in her eyes. Memories rushed into her mind like waves crashing against a shore. Memories of sacrifices, memories of love, memories of a life she believed was real. Years later, Zara had lived a very different life. She was just a quiet young woman running a small roadside food stall on the outskirts of Enugu. Life had never been easy for her. Her parents died when she was still young, leaving her to survive on her own. Every morning, before sunrise, Zara woke up to cook food for workers and traders who passed through one of the busy streets in Enugu. It was a simple life, but Zara believed in one thing: hard work. Then one afternoon, a young man walked into her stall, looking exhausted and defeated. His clothes were neat but worn out. His eyes carried frustration and determination at the same time. His name was Daniel. Daniel had moved to the city, chasing a dream. He wanted to start a business and build a successful future. But things had not gone as planned. He had tried several ideas, but each one of them failed. Most people had already given up on him, but Zara didn't laugh at his dreams. Instead, she listened. Day after day, Daniel returned to the stall. At first, for food, then for conversation, then for something deeper: hope. Slowly, their friendship turned into love, and within a year, they got married. Their beginning was humble. They lived in a small one-room apartment with cracked walls and a leaking roof. Some nights, they struggled to pay rent. Other nights, they shared a single meal, but Zara believed in Daniel with all her heart. When Daniel said he wanted to try one more business idea, Zara made the biggest sacrifice of her life. She sold the small piece of land her late father had left for her. It was the only inheritance she had. Every naira from that sale, she placed in Daniel's hands. Use it, she told him softly. Build your dream. Daniel stared at her in disbelief. This is everything you have, he said. Zara smiled. You are my future. That money changed Daniel's life. He started a small trading business. At first, success came slowly, but little by little, things began improving. The business grew. Daniel started traveling between cities. Soon he opened his first shop, then another one. Within a few years, Daniel had become one of the most respected businessmen in Enugu. People admired his intelligence. They praised his determination, but only Zara knew the truth. She had sacrificed everything to build that success. Yet somewhere along the way, something began to change. Daniel started coming home late. Phone calls became secretive. Business trips became longer. Whenever Zara asked questions, Daniel simply smiled. Business is demanding, he would say. Zara believed him. After all, she trusted the man she had helped build from nothing, until tonight, standing in the dark hallway, listening to a conversation that she was never meant to hear. Inside the living room, Melissa's voice broke the silence again. You promised me this life, she said. And I will keep that promise, Daniel replied quietly. Zara felt a cold chill crawl up her spine. Melissa continued speaking. But everything is still in Zara's name. Daniel laughed softly. She doesn't know the truth, he said. Once she signs the transfer documents, everything will finally belong to us. Zara's breath caught in her throat. The house, the company, all the properties. Daniel had insisted that they be registered in her name years ago. He said it was for legal safety. Now she understood the real reason. She had never been his partner. She had only been a temporary bridge. Tears rolled silently down her cheeks. The man she sacrificed everything for had been planning to take everything from her and replace her. Zara slowly stepped away from the door. Her heart was broken, but her mind was suddenly clear. She quietly walked upstairs, packed a small bag, and before sunrise, Zara left the house without waking anyone. She did not argue. She did not fight. She simply disappeared. Weeks passed, then months. Daniel barely noticed at first. He believed Zara would return eventually, but something unexpected happened. She did not return. Every property, every business account, every investment was legally under Zara's name. Without her signature, Daniel could not control any of them. Panic slowly replaced his confidence. He began searching for Zara everywhere, but never found her. Until one afternoon, when he finally found her, she was standing confidently in front of a busy restaurant filled with customers. A large sign hung above the entrance, Zara's Kitchen. The small roadside stall she had once owned had grown into something powerful, something successful, something entirely hers. Daniel stood frozen outside the restaurant. The woman he betrayed, the woman he thought he had used, had quietly rebuilt her life, stronger than before. When Zara noticed him standing there, she simply looked at him calmly. No anger, no tears, just strength. Daniel did not know what to say. At a point, he walked into the restaurant not knowing exactly what to expect. He sat down at a table, confused on the next step to take. What Daniel did not know was that without his knowledge, Zara had contacted a lawyer introduced to her by a friend of Daniel's who had known all their plans all along.
It was not a coincidence.
The lawyer told her quietly.
Are you certain?
It was planned.
The lawyer confirmed to Zara that Daniel and Melissa from his investigation had been dating long before Daniel met her. So all that happened, the first encounter between Daniel and Zara, the story he told her, the help she gave him, had all been planned out. Zara welcomed Daniel, who was seated at the table properly, without letting him suspect for a second that she knew the truth. She ordered he be served a good plate of food and drink. While eating, he tried to engage Zara in a conversation, but she declined gently. He ate and left, not knowing what was coming. Weeks passed, and something strange happened. News came to her that Melissa had fallen ill and died suddenly. What? She exclaimed. How can that happen? Zara said to herself. Could it be that it was Daniel who got rid of her just so his secret will not be let out one day? Was the death natural? Different things kept going on in her thoughts. Few months later, Daniel had an accident on Enugu-Port Harcourt Road, which gave him a spinal cord injury. He had to stay in the hospital for a very long time. Zara, though pained by what Daniel and Melissa had done to her, did not allow hate to consume her, because sometimes the deepest betrayal becomes the beginning of a greater destiny. She allowed herself to heal slowly. Months later, she picked up the courage to go to the hospital where Daniel was admitted. Daniel, seeing her, broke down into an uncontrollable sob. His confidence was gone. He looked very frail and weak. He begged for forgiveness from Zara. Zara looked at him calmly without saying a word for a long while. Now she understood everything life had taught her. Not everyone who hurts you deserves your hatred, because sometimes people must surely face the result of their choices. She helped Daniel as much as she could, but she never allowed him back into her life. Forgiveness did not mean returning to pain or not treading cautiously when your enemies have been shown to you. Those who planned her downfall fell instead of her, and life had taught her to be stronger. She understood that the greatest victory was not destroying those who hurt you, but coming out of it the strongest. And that was the story of Zara. A reminder that life may test us, but truth and patience always find their way. This is African Folk Tales by Grandma, where every story teaches a lesson. Tell us, what would you have done if you were Zara? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this beautiful story, please drop a like on the video and leave a comment on your favorite part of the story, moral lessons and so on. On your notification bell so that you can get notified anytime a new and interesting video is released. If you believe in second chances, if you believe that scars can become symbols of strength, share this story. Let it reach someone who is still fighting their past. Subscribe to my channel, African Folk Tales by Grandma, for more real African stories that inspire, transform, and live forever in your heart. Please be rest assured that if you support me by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel, you always stay motivated. It has not been easy getting here, but I really appreciate all of you who always watch my videos to the end. It's a lot of hard work, days of sleepless nights before one of these videos you watch on this channel is produced. I am counting on your support always to take this channel to the top. Thank you once again for your unwavering love and support. God bless you all.